So there she finally is. The first Warframe of 2017 arrives late March. I mean, we're perfectly on schedule with Octavia. It's a Warframe we have been waiting for a very long time. I think it was announced in November, December. It kind of brings us to like a 5-month development time, but was that worth it? I mean, before Octavia we had Nidus, and Nidus was one of the best Warframes when it comes to synergy and abilities. And can Octavia keep up this trend? Let's find out in this mission. Of course, you're wondering why it took DE so long to develop this one single Warframe, but there's a very good reason behind that. See, Octavia's abilities are all based around a revolutionary music system. It's something we've never seen before in this game, and they had to just build that from the ground up. Now that may sound very complicated, so let's go over and see what it's all about. Alright, now this is how the song mechanic works. If you want to go to the song mechanic, go to your Octavia and then go to Appearance. Here you will find the Manda chord, and the Manda chord will bring you to your Manda chord. It's very simple. Now you can pause this and then you can see how this is built up. Right now we had Sandstorm playing by someone that made this amazing song in Region. However, if you want to adjust it, it's very easy. We got the percussion, bass and melody, but don't ask me any more than that because I'm not that good with music. However, it's very straightforward and simple. If you want to have a tune or note added, you can just simply click on it and there you go. Once it's selected, the music will play. If it goes over that, you will hear it play in the background or in the foreground if it's a very loud note. Then you can remove it and you can play around with this all you like. Of course, there is a limitation to notes, so people cannot make very annoying songs, but generally it's a very fun feature to play around with. You have a lot of instruments, and everything you do, everything you select, will have effect in the game. Now that's as much as I will explain. Now let's get back into the game to see Octavia's abilities. Now as to her abilities, Octavia does keep up the trend that has been set with Nidus as to synergizing the Warframes and its abilities. If we take a look at the first two abilities, they form a perfect combo. Throw out the first ability, which is almost like a boom and ball throwing out a musical shockwave, and then throw out the second ability, which is a Grineer roller, and it will just pick it up and go around defeating all the Grineer or enemies in range. If it's being dealt damage to, it will get more powerful, which is very nice. Now the third ability gives you a wave of music. Dance on the beat or fire on the beat, go down on the beat, and you will see you will get a small buff. You will have to stay in tune though. If you go off tune, you can see that the percentage kinda lowers. Of course, this also affects your squad mates, so if you see people going down to the beat of Sandstorm, you know they're not just doing that for fun. Now her fourth ability is the most generic one of the bunch, which gives you an area of effect that will deal damage toward the enemies. This is based on sound though, so it's best to activate the entire orchestra of your music and let it play out loud to defeat all the enemies in range. It is very nice though that the music comes from all directions and every power brings in a bit of the music, forming an entire concert right where you're standing. This does not only play for you, but it also plays for your squad mates, making missions a lot more fun. Honestly, throughout the entire 12 hours that I've played with this Warframe, I've never had so much fun playing one single Warframe all the time. The abilities never get boring, as if you just throw an ability, it will play a nice little tune and it will deal some damage. However, then I got into an interception mission. You all know interception missions as one of the best ways to rank up your Warframe, and especially this tile set is very much favored by a lot of veteran players who kinda remember what these tile set used to mean in the olden days. And I don't doubt that many of you will be ranking up Octavia via these sort of missions. However, it did make me realize something that I have to take into consideration when looking at her abilities. Now, her abilities are fine and all and they're very fun, and as we saw, they do some damage. However, here we see a little problem. Throwing in this ball with like the damage thing is very nice. It goes around killing some enemies, but it's no point defending a target. It goes around, there's no trace to it. It kind of goes there, it comes back, it does whatever it wants. It's no use trying to spawn more of them because you can only spawn one at a time. This means that it's useless for defense and useless for interception. But what if I want to take it on an exterminate mission or one where I have to run? Is it useful then? Will it follow me around? Well, let's find out after I drop this energy pack, because otherwise I can't spawn it. Now, it will not do that, you see. Running around will make it probably some way follow you, but it doesn't really do that. You see, it comes around to me, but it's not in any way close to me. It goes around wherever it wants to go, and that's very nice, but it doesn't act like a substitute wall on fire. This means that, yeah, you may be able to use non-exterminate mission, but it will always be running behind you, where you have killed all the enemies already. And this made me realize something about the Warframe. I've had 12 hours of immense fun. This Warframe is by far one of the most fun Warframes I've ever had to play with. However, it's also a Warframe I see as part of the clamification of Warframe, which, for some people, may be a bad thing, for others, may be a good thing. But what do I mean with the clamification of Warframe? Now remember back when Warframe was a very nice and fun to play game, when all the solar map was kinda dark, gloomy, and we really were the space ninjas that people said we were. Now though, we've got things like Clam and the Warframe in the game, which if you just throw them around, I mean, I set up all my abilities, and instead of firing off an amazing Ashes Blade Storm, I get some music, and if I stand around for long enough, you will see that this Warframe will ultimately start to dance. There you go. Now isn't that wonderful? Isn't that fun? But do we really need that in the game? Now, how do I feel about this Warframe? Well, I do really like it. It's a very fun Warframe. Possibly the 12 hours I spent with it were the most fun I've ever had with a Warframe, and after 12 hours I still wanted to play some more. I don't know if I can say that of a Warframe like Nidus. I still have to test it out, but I feel I would grow bored. Throwing on the abilities that play the music with endless music possibilities is very fun, and sharing the songs with other people and finding songs in the region is even more fun. However, I don't know if we need more of this. The clamification of Warframe is very nice. Seeing how the developers interact with the player base and add in fun elements to the game is of course always a good thing. However, it shouldn't take away from the tone of the game. Now, I'm not the one to say what the tone of the game is. I think that's up for you to decide. But after all, I do think it's a fun frame you definitely should pick up, if not just for the song mechanic and sharing around your Sandstorm.